The movie kicks off with a group of college friends, Paxton, Haley, Grant, Lucas, Paige, Elsie, and Madeline, embarking on a trip. Paxton, thrilled to be there, expresses his excitement. Haley shifts the focus to Elsie's birthday, and after the group wishes her, they start a game. Paige jokingly asks who will get married first, and everyone points to Haley and Grant, who react with shock and unhappiness. Grant excuses himself to get a beer, and Paxton follows. Inside their rented house, Grant reveals that he and Haley broke up. Meanwhile, Haley is sharing her version of the breakup story with the others, highlighting their conflicting views on ambition and romance. Paxton tries to lighten the mood by suggesting they could start a pottery business or a bookstore. Grant's search for beer reveals they're out of stock, disappointing everyone. With no beer left, Paxton proposes searching the house for hidden booze. The friends scour the place but find nothing until Lucas discovers a basement door marked with a warning to stay away. Ignoring the sign, they break in and find ancient astrological items. Paxton stumbles upon a tarot box and suggests they use the cards for fun. Elsie asks Haley to combine tarot readings with horoscopes, prompting Madeline to warn them about her grandmother's belief that the combination is evil. Dismissing her concerns, Haley explains that the mix could be a powerful tool for forecasting. Haley explains the tarot horoscope combination, surprising everyone. When asked how she knows this, she quips, "I think I taught it to myself." As Haley opens the tarot box, the lights flicker ominously. Sensing danger, she hesitates, but Elsie insists she continue for her birthday. Starting with Elsie, a Libra, Haley outlines her star characteristics and predicts the ladder of success but warns her to be cautious. Elsie's central card, the High Priestess, suggests potential harm, but Elsie focuses only on her success. Next, Madeline volunteers. Haley, noting she is a Pisces, describes her traits and warns of the Hanged Man card, indicating potential trouble with technology. She advises Madeline, who tends to flee when scared, to stand her ground. When it's Paxton's turn, he excuses himself to the bathroom. Paige steps up next, but as Haley begins her reading, the scene shifts to Paxton. He is distracted by a mysterious figure outside while headed for bathroom, only to find nothing when the lights come on. Back at Paige's reading, Haley discusses Virgo traits and the central card, the Magician, warning of deceptive tricks that may cloud clarity of her vision. Suddenly, Paxton returns and it's his turn. Embarrassed about forgetting Haley's birthday, he listens as she advises him to avoid stubbornness and stay close to trusted friends. She also warns him not to panic when feeling trapped and hints he might surprise his friends by appearing unexpectedly. Next up is Lucas. Haley reads his horoscope, predicting love in the air and a change in his financial situation. However, she cautions him about his central card, Hermit, whose lamp could lead him astray. Reluctantly, Grant steps forward. Haley points out the relationship difficulties he's causing, which enrages him. He accuses her of fabricating the reading and tries to leave, but she warns him about facing his demons and risking a loved one's life. Haley then reads her own horoscope, discovering that love will be the death of her. The next morning, as the group prepares to leave, Haley replaces Grant's picture on her phone wallpaper with her own, feeling sad. Meanwhile, Grant joins Paxton, who is engrossed in his favorite crime podcast, much to his friend's annoyance. Despite this, Paxton remains hopeful for a new episode. Later, Paxton, Madeline, and Grant are listening intently when Lucas surprises them with news of his $700 lottery win. In the evening, the girls drop Elsie off at her stop. While taking a bath and chatting with Paige about their trip, Elsie hears a noise. Investigating, she finds a ladder hanging from the attic and, puzzled, puts it back. Later, while talking to Paige about Haley and Grant's breakup, she hears a loud thud and finds the ladder down again. Hearing footsteps, she hopes to find her roommate Claire in the attic. Instead, she finds an empty attic. As she climbs down, the lights flicker, creating an eerie atmosphere. Returning to the attic, she is surrounded by candles and is startled by the sudden appearance of the High Priestess. Panicking, Elsie falls while trying to escape, and the High Priestess mercilessly kills her using the ladder. Paige is devastated by Elsie's death, and Haley decides to stay with her. Before leaving, Grant asks Haley to promise to call him if she needs anything. Later, Lucas escorts Madeline home, telling her to reach out anytime. She hugs him and walks away, unaware that the hermit from his tarot reading is watching him. Meanwhile, Paige wakes up from a nightmare about Elsie and blames herself for her friend's death. Haley comforts her, explaining that some things are inevitable. She shares that she grew up in Minnesota with her mother, who battled cancer unsuccessfully. Tarot readings always predicted her mother's death, teaching Haley that fate cannot be changed. At the subway station, Lucas sees the hermit with her lamp. As darkness closes in, he tries to escape, entering a restricted area. He stumbles upon a newspaper predicting his death that day. Panicking, he hears Haley's voice from his reading and hides in a nearby bus. The hermit finds him, and as he flees, she uses her lamp to lead him to a brutal death. Grant and Haley later sit together, grappling with Elsie's death. Grant comforts Haley before leaving to study for a test. He pauses after receiving a text message stunned. The remaining friends are questioned by two officers who suggest they go home. Paige proposes staying together for safety, and Madeline agrees. However, influenced by his crime podcast, Paxton suggests the killer might be one of them, noting that most murders are committed by someone known to the victim. Grant thinks Paxton makes sense, but Madeline considers it coincidental. Haley, believing in fate, points out that Lucas died exactly as predicted by his readings. Grant is skeptical, but Paxton recalls Haley's prediction about Lucas's improved finances, which came true when he won the lottery just before his death. Despite Grant's doubts, Haley and her friends search online for answers, finding several articles by an astrologer named Alma. Grant mentions that Alma has been discredited and mocked in the astrology community, but Haley finds her address and they decide to visit her. Arriving at Alma's secluded forest home, they initially regret their decision when Alma doesn't respond to their calls. Paige is frightened by something near a window, but Alma eventually answers the door. Reluctant at first, Alma listens when Haley explains that death is pursuing them. Inside, Alma reveals that similar incidents have occurred before, starting with 6 deaths in Mexico in 1951, followed by 8 deaths at Woodstock. The common factor was that these people were doing horoscope readings before they died. Alma then recounts a 1988 incident where a group of friends on a weekend trip ended with only one survivor. When asked how she knows all this, Alma reveals that she is the sole survivor of that 1988 incident. Alma discloses that she discovered the cursed tarot deck too late. About 15 years ago, she traced it to an antique merchant but lost track of it. When Grant doubts her, Alma insists that the combination of tarot and horoscope is the deadliest form of divination. She explains, "She knew it," prompting Haley to ask who she is. Alma recounts a tale from 1798 about a count and his skilled peasant astrologer. The count asked her to read for his pregnant wife and unborn child, but the readings predicted their deaths during childbirth. The count demanded a different outcome, but the prediction held true. Enraged, the count and villagers accused the astrologer of witchcraft and attacked her home, killing her daughter. The astrologer, in her fury, performed a ritual binding her soul to the tarot deck, cursing anyone who used it. Alma reveals that the cursed deck is in the house the friends rented a few days earlier and urges them to destroy it. As they leave, Grant remains skeptical. Suddenly, their car stops mysteriously. They worry about who might be next when Madeline remembers her horoscope predicted technology failures. She panics upon seeing the Hanged Man card on the window and runs away despite their attempts to stop her. Haley rushes to help while Grant and the others remain in the car as a mysterious creature begins circling them. The creature follows Madeline, and before Grant can help, it mercilessly kills her before their eyes. Haley is devastated, but Grant tries to comfort her. They leave the bridge, arguing about what to do next. Haley suggests returning to the house to destroy the deck, while Paxton, disbelieving in the card's power, insists on going to his room. Despite Haley's warnings and reminders of Madeline's fate, Paxton refuses to listen and leaves. Haley, Grant, and Paige head back to the house and rent it again. Meanwhile, Paxton encounters a strange joker performing silly tricks. Realizing his mistake, he tries to escape and hides in an elevator. The elevator stops, and the joker tears through the roof, attacking Paxton. Back at the house, Haley, Grant, and Paige find the deck and attempt to burn it, but the cards remain undamaged. Sensing trouble, they summon Alma, who reveals she has been preparing for this moment. Alma attempts to communicate with the cursed astrologer using the deck. The astrologer appears and starts reading Alma's horoscope, causing her to bleed from the nose. Alma apologizes to Haley before the astrologer pulls her away. Terrified, Haley and her friends run, only to find Alma's dead body. During their escape, Paige gets separated from Grant and Haley. She stumbles into a room where a light bulb explodes, damaging her eye. Disoriented, she finds herself facing the magician from her reading. She tries to escape but is chained by the magician. Desperately, Paige hides in a box, but the magician finds her. The magician uses a saw for his next trick, terrifying Paige. As she dodges his attacks, he traps her in a tightening box, ultimately dividing her body into parts. Haley and Grant, hearing her screams, are horrified. Grant reassures Haley they will survive. Haley confesses that she had read their stars the night they met, receiving a no about their relationship. She repeated the reading recently, with the same result. Grant suggests they might have been cursed from the start. This idea strikes Haley, and she believes she can reverse the curse by reading the astrologer's cards. Despite Grant's protests, she insists on trying. Haley smiles, acknowledging Grant's understanding of her stubbornness, when suddenly a monster drags Grant away. Alone and terrified, Haley faces death in the form of a monster. She tries to hide and dodge its attacks, but eventually it corners her. Just as the monster is about to kill her, Grant intervenes, saving her life. Seizing the moment, Haley rushes to the cards while Grant battles the monster. The monster knocks Grant out and drags him toward the fire. Haley begins reading the cards, provoking the astrologer. She acknowledges the astrologer's pain, urging her to let go of the past. The astrologer, enraged, attempts to kill Haley, but Haley declares that death is inevitable, representing a new beginning. The stars in the circle light up, harming the astrologer. Desperate, the astrologer clings to Haley, hoping to take her life along with her own. Luckily, Grant arrives just in time to save Haley, and they watch as the astrologer vaporizes. They start walking away, relieved but wary, when they see a car approaching. Grant momentarily panics, recalling his predicted fate, but his fear turns to joy as Paxton steps out of the car. The friends are thrilled to reunite, though Paxton is saddened to learn of Paige's fate. As they drive back to town, Haley and Grant share how they reversed the curse on the astrologer. Paxton expresses doubt about whether the curse is truly over, but Grant and Haley reassure him. In a post-credits scene, Haley and Grant ask Paxton how he survived. He proudly explains that he outfooled the fool, revealing that his roommate Todd's timely arrival saved his life. The movie ends on this note.